Okay, here's a thought. What if the things you hate most about your aging body, what if they were actually its most beautiful feature? Let's talk about how to turn those insecurities into your greatest strengths.
Now I'm serious, go on. Pause this if you have to. Go look in the mirror. Get really, really close. What do you see?
Is it that new little line by your eye? You know the one. It definitely wasn't there last year.
Or maybe it's that one single gray hair you found this morning and, admit it, you immediately plucked it out, hoping nobody would ever know it was there.
Or maybe it's not even about what you can see. It's about what you feel, right? That knee that now clicks every single time you climb the stairs.
Every single one of these things feeds into this powerful, kind of toxic story we're told every day. I call it the mirror's lie. It's a story that frames our own bodies as the enemy.
You see, our culture teaches us to see our bodies like an iPhone. The minute it gets scratched or cracked or starts slowing down, its value just plummets. It becomes a depreciating asset. But there's this whole other way of looking at it, the Wabi-sabi view, that says something pristine, something totally unblemished, is actually boring. It lacks a soul. So, to really understand this radically different mindset, we need to go back in time. Let's dig into the art of brokenness with this beautiful old story from Japan.
So the story goes, centuries ago, a powerful shogun broke his most treasured tea bowl. He was just devastated. He sent the pieces all the way to China for repair. But when it came back, oh, it was a monster. It was held together with these ugly, rusty metal staples. He was horrified. So he gives it to a local craftsman who has this brilliant idea. Instead of trying to hide the cracks, he decides to highlight them. He mends them with lacquer mixed with pure gold, and suddenly, the break is no longer a flaw. It's the most beautiful part of the bowl. It's a masterpiece defined by its own history.
And this art form, it has a name. It's called Kintsugi, which literally means golden repair. And the philosophy behind it is just so profound. Don't hide the damage, illuminate it. Celebrate the journey. The history of the break is what makes an object precious.
Kintsugi is really the perfect physical example of a much bigger Japanese philosophy called Wabi-sabi. It's this beautiful idea that true beauty, real beauty, lies in things that are imperfect, things that won't last forever, and things that are still a work in progress.
Okay, so this ancient story, it's not really about pottery, is it? It's about you. It's about your body's own golden veins. You are the masterpiece here.
Think about it. By the time you hit 40, you are that tea bowl. Life has dropped you, maybe more than once. Maybe it was a divorce that felt like it shattered you into a million pieces, an illness, the constant grind and stress of work or raising a family. You have cracks. We all do.
Our culture tells us to fill those cracks with Botox and cover them with concealer to pretend they never happened. But Wabi-sabi shows us another way. It reminds us of this simple truth. A face without lines is a face without a story. And this is where we can reframe everything. Those stretch marks, they're not flaws. They're a map of where life expanded you. Those laugh lines around your eyes, that's a permanent record of every moment of joy you've ever felt. And that scar, that's a shining testament to the fact that you survived. These are your golden veins.
You know, in a traditional Japanese tea ceremony, the most valuable, the most sought-after bowls are never the perfect, machine-made ones. They're the ones that are a little misshapen, weathered by time, maybe a little rough to the touch. And why? Because they feel real. They have character.
So this all brings us to a choice. A really important choice you get to make every single time you look in the mirror. You can choose to see a depreciating object, or you can choose to see a work of art. I want you to remember this. Perfection is cheap. It's mass-produced in a factory. It's empty. But character? Well, character is earned. It can only be forged by surviving the fire, by being dropped and then lovingly, beautifully put back together again. So the next time you see a new line or a gray hair, just ask yourself this question. Do you want to spend your life chasing this impossible ideal of being a perfect, mass-produced plastic doll? Or do you want to be a priceless piece of art, threaded with veins of gold that proudly proves to the entire world that you have truly, deeply lived? The choice is yours.
Subscribe for daily wisdom.